That's just crazy, man. That's crazy. We're definitely picking that up today. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Whiskey Here. I'm in Baton Rouge, and our first stop today is Gardere Meat Market. Let's go do some bourbon hunting around town. I made it inside of Gardere. They added another aisle of whiskey right next to the candy aisle. Happy about that, but I've said before, this is probably one of the top hidden gems, hands down in the state, but definitely the best one that I've ever been to. And we'll just start over here at the end. Dude, we got whiskey on the floor even too. Look, some Mellick 6 years, Woodford Double Oak, Whistle Pig 12, Peerless Double Oak. This is just on the floor. Old Dominick, Tennessee. That's that bonded right there. Price on this one, $57.99. Got a couple of Old Dominick stuff actually. Got their regular Tennessee whiskey, that 85 proof. The bourbon, there's a Cash Reef bourbon up here, but yeah, let's get started on the shelf. Like, that's just on the ground, crazy. Michters Toasted Sour Mash to start. That is the right one, $119. They got 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. 4 of these Toasted Sour Mashes. I'm gonna go home with one. I've never seen this in the store before, ever. I don't think I've ever tasted this one either, but I do remember when I was hanging out with Joe one night, I think it was Joe, one of his buddies, had said that this was one of their favorite Michters that they've ever had. But every year they come out with a special edition toasted, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't seen a sour mash ever. I'm gonna put it back for now so we can keep bourbon hunting, because I didn't expect to see that right off rip. It's a beautiful bottle. I actually heard that the whiskey inside of this one was not that bad, but if you could see, 2 halves of a revolver right there. Yeah, it's very, very nice packaging. $189 on that one. 10-year age-stated bourbon. I think it comes from Kentucky. But yeah, that's really cool coming from World Whiskey Society. Angel's Envy Cellar Collection, straight rye whiskey finished in French oak añejo tequila barrels. Who else did a tequila finish this year? It was Booker's as well. And they have a Booker's. This one is the 2021. So a Booker's back from 2021. That's pretty crazy. It's a 6-year, 6-month. So 6.5 year. And the proof is 124 proof, $119.99 right there. Couple Belle Meads. You guys let me know down below. I think it's this one, this Belle Mead Reserve Bourbon. It's 108.3 proof and it is $79.99. So 80 bucks. I thought I remember her hearing rumors that Belle Mead was gonna go out of business or that they had closed down. I'm not too sure. I haven't really got much clarification on that, but it doesn't sound bad. The Belle Meads that I've had are really good. That's just crazy, man. That's crazy. We're definitely picking that up today. Tumbling Dice Straight Rye finish in Laird's Apple Brandy. I found, fun fact, Laird's, I believe, is the oldest like Applejack distillery or maybe like distillery in the US. I didn't know that. But I have a bottle of Laird's at home and I love Tumbling Dice. This is something I've never seen them do like a finish project before. 75 bucks. I would almost say that that's really, really tasty without even having to try it, because everything that I've had from them at Tumbling Dice has been great. 7.3, this is a cognac finish single barrel coming from 7.3, $59.99. It's a great price for a store pick, especially a finish pick. Local as well, something cool to support. Got a couple of the holiday lineup. This is that Old Dominick. Look what's behind it, dude. They got the 2024, so that's the 121 proof Heaven Hill Grain Glass. I just bought this year's batch of Heaven Hill. That was tucked away behind this Old Dominick cash drink, which is $57.99. Phenomenal price for a phenomenal bottle. So yeah, this one's the 2024. Honestly, don't know. It's been so long since I've had this one. Comparing it to this year's, I really enjoyed this year's. It's at a much lower proof point, but I was a huge fan. I would like to try these back to back. If you guys have them both, or if you tried them side by side, which one's the winner? Would you say 24 or 25? And if I wouldn't have just bought this, I would have bought this too. $89.99. $89.99. I thought MSRP was 100 bucks on that. Got the grain of glass bourbon and rye. I'm guessing that's the same price on these as well. Yep, $89.99 for those as well. A couple of the Red Label 4 Roses that came out this year, $41.99. Again, cheap, man. I mean, cheap compared to most. And it's not drastically different in prices, but on average, I was seeing this for $46 on like the normal averaging. So you save a few dollars almost on everything here that I've seen at least. A125, B525, excuse me, of the Larceny barrel proofs for 65 bucks. Got some Sagamore offerings as well. It's pretty neat. Maker's Wood Finishing Series. This is the Keeper release, February 2025, and it is 65 bucks. That's a great price. I think I got mine for like 89, so That hurts. So this is like one of kind of those gimmicky brands that are going around right now, similar to Blanton's, how you collect the toppers and it spells out Blanton's. This brand will spell out Kentucky if you collect all the bottles, $59.99 each. So they're definitely trying to kind of live off of that Blanton's hype, it seems like. I've actually heard that the whiskey's not bad because this one does come from Old Louisville, so pretty neat. And it's an 8-year age-stated product for 100 proof. There's really not much to complain there. I haven't personally tried it. JT Mellick 6 years, so they had some of that, but they have a ton of this, which is crazy because I don't see a price tag on this one though. I would guarantee it's MSRP. Since I've been shopping here, this has been the main selection, so we'll go through here and kind of check it out, see if there's anything new. I do know there's something new actually, really interesting. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me because the stores near me in my town are fantastic. They're great stores, great liquor stores, and they do their best to bring in as much as they can, especially if the customer's asking for it. Here though, just comes out with stuff that I'm like, how? Like, dude, Michters toasted sour mash sitting on the shelf, amongst other things in this store. Old Dominic, I haven't even seen in the state yet. You could just find some good bourbon here in this store, like spread out. So you got Redwood, 101 proof, a couple of their other offerings. They got Screaming Titan right here, and a few of the other special labels. Green River, this is a bottle I've actually never seen before. Is it the same as this? Just a different label maybe? No, this is 85 proof. Really? Never seen this before. I'm gonna check and see if this one's on the Daily Pour app. By the way, Daily Pour, same as, you remember Bottle Raiders, right? New look, new upgrade, new feel, different name, whole different brand. I hope you guys like it. But I'm gonna go ahead and scan this bottle in. Over under 85 grand, what do you think? Oh, I'm gonna go under, honestly. It's under 90 proof, but I've never seen this when I heard about it. Let's see, 85 on the dot. It says you should pay around $30 to $59. This one doesn't have a price tag on it. Delightful, well done from Green River, a nice start on their journey, and an excellent first stepping stone. Okay, this might have been one of the OGs, 23 bucks, and I think it's a liter too. That ain't bad for a liter, $23. So it might have been one of the first ones that came out from Green River, but the reviews very well from the Daily Pour. That's neat. And of course, right next to that, a couple of their other regular Green River products, some foolproof rye, wheated bourbon, and the bourbon, $32.99 on those, and then the foolproof is 50 bucks. Some Widow Jane, that's that 15. I know that's like a $200 something bottle. Yeah, $240 for the 15. They got the 13 Decadence Baby Jane. Look at this, this is brand new. Probably my favorite label that has come from Peerless yet. I love the look of this thing, it reminds me of Christmas, but this is the Toasted Peerless Rye, 109 proof. It's $150 though, man. I like Peerless, but it does seem like every single release is getting a little bit more and more like this one, $84.99. This still is my favorite Peerless that I've ever had, the Double Oak, and they've got plenty of it. See, that's another thing, like they got just plenty of Peerless Double Oak, plenty of the Toasted Barrel Bourbon, then they have the Double Oak Rye, and now the Toasted Rye. This is definitely a try before I would buy personally, so I want to taste this one. I don't know if anyone that I know has a bottle. That's the only issue because I've never seen it before. Hopefully a bar, maybe one day soon. Got this Bardstown. I've never seen the Ferrand. Sorry, I'm probably not pronouncing that right, but it's 111.8 proof. Let's see, it's a blend basically. A bunch of different blend finished in cognac casks. 170. Wow. No, I try before I buy again. High West Bourret. That is the 2025. Really enjoyed this one this year. 130, it looks like, 130 bucks. Big fan of the Bourret. It almost tastes like a Finnish whiskey. That's how sweet and just like such dark stone fruit notes off of this whiskey. I was personally a fan of it for sure. I even said it might be a contender for top 5 of the year, but I'd have to put that in a blind with a few other things before I come out and officially say it. This bottle is one that's gonna hurt for me to leave behind, but I was talking to the store owner right before we turned on the camera about this, and I was like, wow, they must have went up in price like significantly, because look at that, 155. Bardstown's asking for this. And it's not even, if you look on the side, it's not as old as the last one, or the one that I really love was Disco 11. Disco 11 was my personal favorite because it was rumored to be that they had 13-year-old wild turkey juice in there, but this one I haven't heard a whole ton about yet. I haven't really seen many floating around either. Even in the Patreon, I haven't seen much chat about it or chatter, but I'd love to try this before I buy it. So that's why I'm gonna leave behind the shelf, because it's $155. Not that I'm being super picky or anything, but I'm already going home with something that's over $100 bucks, so I'd like to try that for sure. Got Disco 10 too. That's pretty neat. I haven't seen tin. Unfortunately, dude, so the initial plan today, I knew coming to Gardier, I was gonna go home with a couple of things probably. One of them, I was gonna get a Disco 11 because he had cases of it the last time I came, but to be fair, that was almost a year ago, if not a year ago now, it's been a while. I was gonna buy one of those for sure, restock, because mine's got about that much left, but he sold out. So that's a huge bummer, but I'm very happy that we did find something. Chartreuse, not whiskey, but I know that this is a collectible item. A group of monks make this. So like they keep the recipe to them. And I think they've been making it all the way from 1605. Got a Joseph Magnus cigar blend, batch 474 for $170. Got some Weller Special Reserve for $39.99 right there, some Weller. It looks like this is the last bottle for now. Some Kentucky Spirit Tyrone R, let's see, 65 bucks. So this is what I was talking about earlier. This is the regular sour mash bottle. It almost looks the exact same. That's why I had to ask and double check. Is this the right one? This sour mash right here is 86 proof and it is only 40 bucks versus the other one's over $100 because it's toasted. Special edition that came out this year, I think. Look at this Woodford selection. That's pretty neat. They got the Madeira finish, the double oak for $190. They got this 119 Masters collection for $160. And then for $140 is this 121 proof. Elijah Craig A124, $64.99 right there. The new Pinhook 10, still haven't been able to try this one either. I've heard good things though, $94.99. Very solid. What I like about Pinhook is it barely went up any price from the 9-year to the 10-year. Same since the 8-year, honestly. These gold wax labels, the 8, 9, and 10 have kind of remained somewhat similar in price. Old Louisville, I've had some of their products, but it's one that I don't know a whole ton about. I'm not really invested or know a ton about the brand, but all the products that I have had are solid, so I'm a fan. It's got this Wild Turkey Masters Keep. That's the 10-year rye for $270. I believe that this was last year's edition, and he did get a good bit of these in, so I do think there's multiple, just not on the shelf, obviously. A couple of the benchmark lineup right there as well. And then some Penelope, that's neat. It's got the new black walnut, the peach. I'm not seeing the apple one yet. I don't know if we're gonna see that around town today. I hope, because I'd love to try it. And then he's also got the F Cancer bottle, 94 proof. This one's pretty popular. I know I've seen it only once around town, and people kind of like flock to that store to go get it. So it's cool that he has it here. Look at this. Got some signed bottles from Jonathan Mazzano over at K-Loop. Batch 11, batch 12. This is a cash single barrel finish in, Cabernet, American oak barrel, some toasted, the ryes, batch 4 and 5 rye. And then right next to that, Crittenden's. Dude, this thing just keeps going. Like, I feel like I've talked this whole entire video, but there's such great bottles in here. Of course, I passed over some of the regular stuff that we can all get and see. A lot of you know about, I'm not gonna keep talking about that, but the interesting stuff, I know that's what we're all here for. Wampus Cat, one of my favorites, $65.99. This rye whiskey is incredible, coming from a craft distillery. One of my favorite bottles of the year, hands down a top 5 for 65 bucks. This Jefferson's Cash Room. Not any other Jefferson's, this Cash Room is a top 5 whiskey of the year, no doubt in my mind. Some Old Soul 10 type series, still one I've never ever tried, but have heard lots of things about. I love this label, dude. Isn't that cool? Like a velvet look. It's very neat. I like when brands do some pretty cool and fun stuff. Old Soul's decent too, made right down the road in Mississippi. James Pepper, or at least their distillery is right down in Mississippi. I don't know if they're distilling and making their own stuff yet. Distilled, aged, and bottled. Yes, they did. They made this one, but not everything. Because this is also them as well, and I know that this is sourced. Yeah, distilled in Indiana, aged and bottled at Cat Head. Whiskey Tree, looks like Luca signed this one, the master distiller. That's what I'm guessing. This is the Whiskey Tree Wheated Bourbon and the High Rye Bourbon. Not to be confused, for the longest time, unfortunately, I was calling this a rye in general. Because normally in the whiskey world, we associate green with rye whiskey. This, however, is just a high rye bourbon. I do prefer this wheated bourbon, though, over the high rye bourbon. $78.99 for the wheated, and then I don't see the high rye bourbon price, but I do know it's significantly less. Look, these are just scattered all throughout the store, man. There were some on the floor, some on the other side of the cap, some right here. For 85 bucks, man, I love that bottle. Some Kings County Distillery, Horse Soldier, just regular stuff. I want to go back, just make sure I didn't miss anything, and grab the bottle that I really want. I did almost miss this. They have these Bardstowns, so these wheated, $39.99. These are normally at least like $44, so great price on these. Penelope wheated for 29 bucks. And then these are some of the picks as well. This is a Bywater cognac finish pick right here. 1792 bottled and bond pick for 40 bucks. $89.99 Found North Cask Strength Single Barrel. Someone did ask me if I was gonna pick this up. And I don't know, I honestly don't have a whole ton. It's 118 proof. I'd like to try more, but what is needed is a blend. So 21 year, 20 year, 15 year, 8 year, all in this. So definitely probably some Canadian in here too, but this is one of the only Canadian whiskey brands that I actually enjoy is Found North. I'm gonna grab this one right here. Yeah, this is, okay, 2025, so this is this year's release, I'm guessing. And it says it on the neck right there. Neat. All right, y'all, we stayed in Gardiers a little bit longer than expected, not gonna lie, but I don't mind at all. I absolutely love exploring that place. Every time I come, there's something different, something new, and the ownership here is actually really cool. And they know a lot about whiskey. What's cool though, is I actually don't think they drink whiskey, but they know a ton about it. And their barrel picks actually go through a local group here, local group of guys that all know a ton about whiskey, have their own collections. They meet up at the store, help them with barrel picks. But today, going home with this Michters Toasted Sour Mash. I'm so pumped about this, dude. It has been a couple years, I think, at least since the Toasted Sour Mash has come out. So very excited to grab that one, 2025. I don't even know when these drop, but glad to have one. We're actually at our next spot, which is Martin Wine and Spirits. I have come in here as well, but it's been probably over a year. I got this Michters Toasted Sour Mash. That one's gonna go home with me today. We're gonna go check out Martin, see what's inside. I guess for the rest of the day, maybe something really, really interesting. If it pops out at me, then we'll grab it, but very happy with this so far. We'll see you inside. All right, so we're inside, and one of the things that I really loved last time that we were here is this tasting area. There's plenty of bottles open, and especially like the store pick that we're about to try. So it's really nice when places offer that try before you buy experience, because rarely do places ever have that. Every now and then you might find a place that has a couple of picks open and whatnot, but yeah, this is great. So this one right here is a Neely Family Distillery. The Old Jet Brothers is actually one I've personally never heard of, but it's Kentucky Straight Bourbon, finished in 2 cigar barrels, and it's 107 proof. So, finish time for 4 months as well. And what's the bottle cost on this one?
So you're $59.99.
$59.99. It's a great price for a cigar blend, technically. Oh, it smells nice. It's very fruit forward. What is it finished in, did you say? Or did I?
So it's just a cigar barrel. So normal cigar blends, you know, you're finishing in port and cherries and Armagnac, you know, whatever. Different ones you can combine. This one had all those juices put into the barrel to get the flavors in that barrel. Then they put the bourbon in.
Gotcha, so kind of like a wash.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. This is really good. Do they distill their own stuff?
Yes.
They do?
Yeah.
I don't know why I've never heard of these guys. That's really nice, especially for their price. It's very sweet, it's tacky, it lasts a while, it's got a long finish. And for the price tag, yeah, this is good. Yeah. Solid pick. So as most of you know, I'm not the biggest Scotch drinker in the world. However, I dabble, and I don't know a lot about them, but I have heard a lot about the Compass Box. I've heard great things. I heard it's a phenomenal brand. They have a Springbank 10 and a Springbank 15 back there as well, but this is pretty much the Scotch selection. So anything that you would recommend, let me know, and it pretty much goes to here. So we got some Maker's Mark picks right here, 69.88. Looks like the same exact barrel actually, but Martin's Wine and Spirits barrel pick. Maybe last year, if I can recall, we did try that one. I mean, there has not been a Maker's that I've been really not a huge fan of. This is that Kentucky series again from Old Louisville that we're talking about. They got K's here. I'm not sure what's behind it, but yeah. If you're into collecting them, they got a few letters around Baton Rouge right now. Old Louisville 8-year single barrel. I like that. Comes in that bag, 8-year. Good packaging, $100 on that one. Copper and Cask, one of the best. Let me just say this right now. Copper and Cask is one of the coolest and best NDPs of whiskey there is, dude. Because look at these prices. And they come out with some crazy stuff. This is an 8-year, this is a 7-year. 8-year age-stated product for $54.99. You're just not gonna find that in whiskey that often. And I feel like we're getting to a point in the whiskey bubble or the whiskey world where, like, look, I still absolutely love everything about whiskey, but people have just gotten sick and tired of what some of these whiskey companies have done, what they're trying to do, these super expensive bottles sometimes. People just want, like, what can I just go grab on the shelf that is consistently good? Copper and Cask is one of those brands that I would never, ever sleep on. And I have a 16-year-old cigar blend. 16-year-old age-stated cigar blend, finished in Armagnac cask. And I paid less than $100. I paid $86 for that bottle. And that was when bourbon was booming 2.5 years ago. Their prices have always been great. Big fan. Had to give them that shout out because they deserve it. Look at this. I've never seen this before. Guardian Angel. American-made straight bourbon whiskey finished in toasted. So that's an Amarone? This is a toasted cask straight bourbon. Okay, let's see. All $60. This one right here is batch 1. It's 105 proof. Distilled in Texas, bottled by Copper Tier, New Orleans. Really? So some Texas New Orleans collaboration here. It's got a great color on it. I don't know if it's age stated. I'm gonna ask the manager about this and find out more. This is a brand I've never heard of. It says try this in the tasting room, so actually let's go try it. So we're gonna start off with this Guardian Angel, the one that is made in Texas but bottled in New Orleans. And this one is a bourbon finish in a toasted cask, and it looks like it's about 114 proof. How new are these guys?
They've been around in the state for several months now.
Really?
The same company, they make Altitude Vodka and Doolin.
Smells almost a little bit like a agave spirit kind of. There's a lot of black pepper on this. It's different. Okay. These aren't age stated either, right? They don't. Yeah. Okay. I think that it tastes way better than it smells.
Yeah.
It tastes really nice. It's very sweet. It's like a funnel cake, like kind of that powdered sugar vibe going on. Reminds me a little bit of Rebecca Creek had that double oak that I love so much. Obviously it's not as oaky and not as high proof, but those similar flavor notes come out of this bottle as well. And that Rebecca Creek was also aged in Texas its whole life. So just like this one, I'm assuming. I would say one of the better Texas whiskeys I've had too. So some Kentucky Spirit here, $62.99, and then below that we got some Green River products, pretty much the standard. There's that Old Jet. There's Neely. Yeah, I didn't know they made Hidden Barn, but their pick that they got is freaking nuts. This brand right here, first time I ever tried this was at this store, now that I'm remembering. This William Dalton, they had a pick of it a while back. And I've never, I've always seen these labels, think that they're super interesting, think that they're nice looking bottles, but never tried them. And they got a good selection of that brand here, so that's cool. I've heard from someone, I personally have not had it, but I've heard that this Waffens is actually a good substitute for blends. Taste-wise, similar in proof at 94 proof. It is a Kentucky straight bourbon, obviously not made by Buffalo Trace, but $50. And yeah, I saw an influencer recently going around saying that this is a great substitution for blends. And what's pretty funny is it actually looks like the Elmer bottle, Elmer T. Lee. But I've personally never had Waffens. Never seen this before. That's a pretty cool looking bottle, huh? Horn hair? Horn hair. Very rare. Most unusual, delicious taste, great smell, fearless, transcendent, smooth drinking, fast mix, or easy mixing, excuse me. Oh man, 90 proof. What a marketing team right there. Please enjoy responsibly. Okay, so bottled by, it's a company in New Orleans. Dang. They don't distill, but they bottle it out of New Orleans. Another one. MB Roland. Don't think I've heard of this either. It's pot distilled Kentucky straight bourbon. Really? Aged 5 years, 120 days, 105 proof. Mash distilled and bottled by MB Roland. Neat. That's pretty cool. Never heard of these guys though. That's so crazy to me how I'm still seeing labels on the shelf that I've never heard of or tasted before. Old Dominic's here. Got their lineup. You got the Tennessee, you got the bourbon, the bonded, the cask strength. These two right here are the ones that I'm actually, all of them are great, but this cask strength bourbon, the Tennessee, dude, oh my God, their Tennessee whiskey is so good. Hands down, probably it's the next competitor with Jack Daniels when it comes to Tennessee whiskey. I love their flavor profile at Old Dominic, dude. Some 15-star stuff. This is a brand I never got into because of the price tag. You see the cheapest thing on the shelf is $100, and that's not the store upcharging. That's just the cost that these bottles are to the store, and then they have to sell it up at a cost to make money off of us, right? I get it. That's how it goes. But it's one of those brands that I just never really got interested in because I knew everything is going to be over $100 for me to try. But I have heard they come out with a couple of bangers every now and then, which is good. They, I like to hear that. It seems like this whole cap side is all rye though. Copper and Cask rye. You don't see many of the green label Copper and Cask that often. $55. A double oak rye. Barrel proof at 119, 6-year age stated, NGP rye for $55, man. You can't complain. You can't with Copper and Cask. You just can't. Got like a handle of Sazerac down there. Anything else? Like let's say Verse is another brand locally here. I mean, I haven't really. I bought a bottle last time I was here. I bought this cash ring. I never reached for it personally. Like, it's not one that I would personally buy again. $45, so I'm not too mad at it. I'm glad and proud to be able to support a local brand, but I just haven't reached for it a whole lot, Let's go back to the tasting bar if we can. I want to try a couple of things. I want to try one more, actually. Which one would you recommend? Because that impressed me.
I mean, I would say the most unique is going to be the Amarone finish one.
Let's go. Yeah, let's do it. Same thing going on the nose. It's like an earthy, peppery smell to it. Not anything traditional that I'm used to, which I've also said on video multiple times, and you guys know I don't really judge whiskeys a whole lot on the nose. because after all, we don't just smell the whiskey. I think the most important part is drinking, but you know, people argue with me on that, and that's okay. Same thing, it's just almost a little bit more mellow.
Yeah, a little more mellow, a little more kind of slight sweet fruitiness on the finish.
They didn't overdo it, which I like.
Yeah.
Sometimes you leave it too long in one of those barrels, it just comes through too much.
A lot of the Texas ones there's so much going on with them.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
And then what was the other one?
MB Rollins.
MB Rollin, yeah. So we got a bottled and bond, and then we have a single barrel. I'll do the single barrel. They have white corn, check that out. So 78% white corn, 17 rye, 5 malt. Pretty interesting, it's a 5-year. That's the one that we saw on the shelf, 105 proof. Oh yeah. Now after smelling that and come back to this is like lots of caramel. Like it almost smells like homemade caramel. That's nice. Salty, like a salted caramel. So all their stuff's pot distilled Kentucky straight bourbon, and they do it all themselves too, out of Kentucky, out of Pembroke. I prefer the last one.
Yeah.
I do personally, but I've never been that huge of a fan of pot distilled. It brings out a little bit of like a earthy, grassy note to some of the whiskeys that I think complements Irish whiskey more than it does like a bourbon mash bill, personally. But this was all great, and I'm really a big fan of that. That interested me for sure.
Yeah.
I want to reach out and try some more of their stuff because that was cool. Thank you, I appreciate this.
Yeah, no
It
problem.
was great. So this is their picks again. I believe we tried this blended one.
Yes.
Okay, so we tried the blended one, but they have 2 separate barrels right here, and then this is a blend of them both. $59.99 is very solid. This Rare Perfection, I talked to someone one time who has, he wouldn't let me film his collection. That's how crazy it was, but it is the rarest whiskey collection I've ever seen in my life. And he said that one of these Rare Perfections would be the #1 whiskey that he would take on a private island for the rest of his life. And he's had the craziest bottles in that collection. So, you know, some of these barrel picks might be absolutely killer. $1.99 for that one. This is the brand that we were talking about on the shelf. Last time I was in the store, there was a blue label that I got to try coming from this brand, but $48.99 for, this is a barrel pick too. $48 for a barrel pick is pretty hard to find nowadays. This one is aged only 2.5 years. It's 101.8 proof. It's pretty neat. And then this is a Knob Creek. It looks like it's just shy of 10 year by like a month.
Yep.
Just shy of 10 years, 65 bucks. Some of these that I've had have been really impressive recently. And I'm not that crazy over Knob Creek, but now that they're getting a little bit higher up in these age statements like this one, they're always a hit. Got that same Maker's Mark pick that I think was on the shelf there. And then if you're a tequila fan, we got some Fortaleza, both the Blanco and Reposado for 55 bucks is great, and $67.99 is great as well. Martin's, man, good store. And then I almost passed up this one, 94 bucks. This is a Cream of Kentucky. I don't think I've ever seen a pick of this yet. I have seen some of the single barrels and whatnot, but 58, okay, 58.5 proof for that one right there. All right, y'all, so that's gonna do it for today's bourbon hunt. We hit up Gardier's Meat Market, and we came to Martin's. Dude, before we left, I wish I could have shown you, but of course I'm not gonna just show random people. That place is packed. Their deli is packed full of people. There's probably at least 30 eating lunch inside of a liquor store. And what's neat, like, it's not really advertised on the store that they also sell food. So that's like word of mouth. Louisiana is just one of the coolest places. It smelled great in there as well. But Martin's has a solid selection, solid prices. What I really love about places like this is that tasting area, that tasting bar. I'm seeing something on the shelf and literally right under it. All right, I almost eat my own words. I'm like, man, I wish I could try this. And right under it, a tag says it's at our tasting bar. So I got to try it. That Guardian Angel, honestly, was really, really impressive. I probably could have got that and been taken it home and been very happy about that, especially in the $50-something price point, but I'm being a little bit more picky right now. Just 2, you know, just 2. But that was a great bottle. That was probably the best one that we tasted in there today, and their barrel pick was also really solid as well. I'm pretty crunched for time though. Stayed in Baton Rouge a little longer than expected. I wanted to do a little bit more, but I'm gonna come back either tomorrow or the next day, just because there's more stores that I wanna come hit again, Hocus Pocus being one of them. So make sure you stay tuned for that video coming out soon as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.